I'm Vinny Mathur. I work as General Manager, External Relations and Global Partnerships at a premium university in New Delhi, Shiv Nada University. I've been there for the last 7 years and 14 years in total in the higher education space. I handle student relations, external relations, global relations, and of course a lot more on campus. This is my second time at the conference. Glad to be here. Last year we were here for an award. We received, for my program called Young Thinkers Forum, which basically deals with high school engagement. And we invite students on campus for summer schools and winter schools. Besides that, we also hold workshops for teachers, for counselors, for parents, for principals and educators. So our program, Young Thinkers Forum, bagged an award last year, and this year I'm here again, back with my team. Arsh and Shivangi, can you raise your hand? They are here with me, and we are here to receive the award on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ananya Mukherjee, and also to be here for the panel discussion and the fireside chat. So we'll keep it short. I know it's been a long day, and the sessions were delayed. But nevertheless, I'll hand over the mic to all of the esteemed panelists here who have joined in with me to introduce themselves briefly, and then we'll take the program forward. Thank you.
Okay. I'm very happy to be here with you and share my experiences in these fantastic education events in Dubai. As a computer science teacher and board member of the Swiss Informatics Society, I link research and practice. I led Athena AI Hub and the SI AI for Ed interest groups within the Swiss Informatics Society in Switzerland, where I promote inclusive, ethical, and sustainable digital learning.
Good evening. Am I audible? Yeah. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Rajashree Krishnaswamy, and I'm the founder and CEO of an organization called as Catalyze Center for Learning. We provide live, one-on-one, interactive programs for learners worldwide. We are present in 40 countries. We have 14 verticals under us, starting from after-school support. We are an online school which is accredited by Pearson edXL. We also have a vertical which caters to competitive exams. We School is our vertical, which is an online school. We Coach is our is our competitive exam vertical. And We Teach is our after-school support. We also have several other verticals which span coding, tutor training. Several other verticals come under that. We have been in the online education space now for more than 17 plus years. And our specialty is personalization. All of our classes are structured to the learner to identify gaps in learning, because as an educator and an educationist, I firmly believe that no two learner is alike. Every child processes the information differently. And our specialty is to identify the gaps and bridge those gaps so that every learner can reach their potential. So this is what we do in a nutshell. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Linda Bradford, and I'm really thrilled to be able to be here at this conference. I'm not sure. This is not on. It's on? Okay. Can you hear me now?
Just need to hold it really tight.
Okay, there we go. Really great to be here with all of you, and my name is Dr. Linda Bradford. I'm a serial entrepreneur and serial educator. I have many things that I have, many hats that I wear every day. I'm the CPO of a company that I started and founded about 10 years ago called Quick Learn. And we also have another product called Fluent Worlds. And all of it is immersive learning. In context. And so we've taken the video game platform and tool, and we've taken it to the next level and let kids enjoy their learning through a video game format. Quick Learn is our latest project and product, and it has over 1,500 courses. And we also identify knowledge gaps, and we pair AI with our wonderful 3D characters. You can go back and talk with Marie Curie, Da Vinci, Einstein, et cetera, in their own spaces that we've recreated in 3D. So we're super excited to be able to present this to students everywhere. We've already done several pilots that have been very successful. Kids love it. So I'm just happy to be here and talk about how we can keep the human touch in those environments. Thank you.
Hi, this is Jainam Khara. Students call me PNJ. PNJ stands for Physics and Jainam. I'm a physics educator. Please don't judge, because I know whenever I say, I'm a physics teacher, they are like, physics, seriously? How can I teach this subject? But I'll be honest, when it comes to science, physics is something which is the most fascinating among all, as long as it is taught correctly. Currently, I'm a physics master teacher at Vedantu Innovations. Vedantu also has a branch in Sharjah, so it's an international company. I'm from Pune, so I did heard that there are somebody from Pune in India, so it will be great to connect with them too. I also did my research internship from Karlsruhe Institute of Technology in Germany. So if there are some Germans here, I would definitely love to connect with you guys as well. That's pretty much it as of now. Thank you so much.
Hello. Hi, this is Meenakshi Shahi, Director, Center for Social Responsibility and Leadership. We are a non-profit organization based in Delhi, working across India, starting from Arunachal Pradesh, small town 0, till Kashmir. We have 33 residential learning centers where we are catering students for a focused learning environment, preparing them for elite institutions like IIT, NIT. However, focusing on their mental and personal development during the entire 11 months period. We are also catering to skill development programs for the underprivileged women, working women coming back to the workspace after they have taken a marriage leave or pregnancy leave. So how to bring back them to the employment and what skills are required so that they can join back the workforce. Again, not very bright students, but somebody who has the skill to work, so making them employment basically. We are working with Assam government, improving their school curriculum, and in Kashmir, where we are mentoring and training youth who could not pass 12th class also due to the tensions in the valley. We are mentoring them to be equipped drivers in EV vehicles, not just drivers, where they can, train and do small mechanism also. While if the car has broken down in some part of valley, they can also do that themselves, not waiting for some trainers or some mechanic from far-flung areas. So this is about us. Excited to know about AI. We have not ventured into it, and because we deal in person with students or people, but excited to discuss all the prospects. Thank you.
Okay, so our topic is very interesting. It says the human touch in the virtual classroom. Ever since COVID came around, I think we all moved to online mode of learning and teaching. So my first question will be to Linda. How does Quick Learn empower end users to maintain human connection in its AI-human interactions?
So as I...
Volume of the mic, please.
So as I mentioned before, we use video game technology and we pair it with AI. And so this is really interesting because we are able to truly have something special for students. We were able to they can take a quick little diagnostic test right in the virtual world, right in the metaverse, and then they go into a portal to their classroom. And so it becomes very exciting for the students. They're able to customize their own avatar. And the fact that we're able to recreate things exactly and mirror their classroom, mirror their teachers. We actually have created their teachers in 3D, cloned their voices. This really helps them connect with their teachers and feel identity with their schools. So I think that really helps maintain that human touch in that particular thing. The other thing that we do that I think does really well at maintaining that human touch is we really honor the teachers and leaders and thinkers, the great people of history. So we, again, not only have current day teachers, but we also have historic heroes that students can relate to and listen to and become inspired by. I think it's really important to really think about the things that we want to pass along to the next generation. We really want them to be able to have that empathy. We want them to be able to be culturally sensitive. We want them to be able to have inclusivity and passion for learning. That's kind of the key, I think. We also offer a multiplayer version, as you talked about when everyone went online to COVID. Our online version, the live version, can have 30 or 40 students in it, and they have the webcam with their teacher as well as their characters. So this really helps maintain that human touch. The other thing that we do that I think definitely has a great way of preserving and carrying on a good tradition is we have a course builder for teachers that they can actually upload their own materials, which kind of your own curriculum is kind of your heart and soul as a teacher. I know for me, I've taught 11 years on the university level and taught art. And those lessons never were the same semester to semester because I would change and refine them. So those things are really important. So those actually get generated by our AI into our program. And that's my own unique curriculum, so it's pretty cool. At its core, Quick Learn actually starts at the very beginning with our prompt engineering. And that prompt engineering is so important that we want to pass on values. So we have a team that is very good at that. They're able to have guardrails so that there's no errant questions or hallucinations that AI typically likes to do. And we can see that this is really an important factor. So from the very start, what we include in our lessons is values-based, and it is also safe for kids. So I think that's another way that we try to keep that human touch. We also like to provide lessons on soft skills. So we're working with a nursing college right now that wants us to actually create an agentic bot that teaches about sensitivity, situational awareness, these sorts of things. So that's another way that we're trying to keep those soft skills really at the forefront. Let's see, the other thing that we do, we actually are able to speak to, in our tutor section of our video game, you actually can speak in over 44 different languages. So this really keeps the students that that English isn't their first language, it keeps them involved. As I mentioned, I taught art for 11 years at Brigham Young University, and I found that a true piece of art, a truly great piece of art really is made up of two things. It's unity and variety. And if you think about unity being maybe the AI portion of things, that might be the general thing, but the really unique variety part is what the student brings. So I believe that we need to truly teach students to start first with their own thinking, tell them that their brain is one of a kind, they need to use their own brain first, and then maybe collaborate with AI after. And I think if we teach them to use AI in that way, we don't dilute what their great ideas and creativity are. So again, I think that we have a great opportunity to help the youth be able to have great AI experiences, use it properly, keep the human touch in it. More than ever before, students really need inspiration even more than information. So that's what we're hoping to do at Quick Learn. So thank you.
Thank you, and I like the way you said that every child is unique and they need to understand that they have to use their energies towards a reflective time. So yes, so let's go ahead with the next question to Jainam. With AI becoming increasingly accurate in analyzing student behavior and learning gaps, how do we ensure that emotional reassurance, the part that helps a child feel safe, seen, and supported, is not lost in the translation?
Thank you. AI can analyze behavior, but it cannot analyze fear. Usually, a student's fear is hidden. It's silent. I will tell you a story. For an example, there was this student at Vedantu whose name was Kapil. That child, I'm sure no artificial intelligence could have understood his fear, his hesitation towards learning. He failed in almost all the subjects. It took literally daily human connections, emotional touch, counseling to understand, where his fears lie. And eventually, he passed his matriculation with 51%. That is not just a number. That is literally dignity restored. And this human touch, that is something that, AI cannot do. So when it comes to empathy, when it comes to AI, it's not about AI or teachers. We don't have to choose from one of them. It should be literally AI transforming and teacher amplified. That is how the education system should be. That's it.
So well said, Jainam. I think it's very correct that AI and humans have to go parallel. Teaching has to go parallelly. It cannot be one person taking over the AI or AI taking over the teaching. Totally agree on that. And my next question will be to Dr. Rajashree. One second, sorry. The role of teachers and educators in the social and emotional development of the learner in an AI-enhanced environment. Could you explain on that, please?
Yeah, the whole of today we've had many discussions where every person in the room has said many times that AI is a tool and it cannot replace the human touch, which is really good. The point I would like to make here is that as an educator, it is very important to participate in holistic development of the learner. So, holistic development means not just curriculum or subject knowledge. It has a psychological as well as an emotional component. So educators need to have a high emotional quotient and as well as understand the psychology of the learner. Fear, of course, is one psychology. But many times, even top-performing learners who do very well in an online environment, in a teacher-guided session, don't perform well in exams. And this is something which we see very often. So coming back to the social and the emotional development of the learner, today we are, an organization, as I mentioned, that we are an online school. So in our online school, we get varied learners who are sports people, musicians, who don't want to go to regular school, who study with us online for about 2 to 3 hours, and they take the exams as private candidates. We are a Pearson edXL accredited center. So they take their, IGCSEs, AS, and A levels so that they are able to complete their high school qualification. Our model is completely customizable in terms of, not only in terms of the curriculum, gap identification, program for every learner, but also in terms of scheduling. That is why we are able to offer the flexibility for these kind of students who don't want to spend 8 hours in school, but are able to learn from us 2 to 3 hours online and still clear their high school. So having said this, in our online school, we get varied learners. Learners who, even with special needs. For example, we had a child from Saudi Arabia who was performing very well online with the teacher in class, but he would not do well in exams, time and again. And then we got his answer sheets and we got it analyzed by our expert. And it was the expert immediately said, this child has been forcibly converted from a left hand to a right hand. So he has been forced to write with a hand which is not natural for him. So once we, discussed this with the parent, they said, yes, he's a natural left-hander. So these are, situations which a human touch is needed for such things. The second, episode or second learning that we had was with a learner who had ADHD. And she did not want to go to regular school. Many times, schools are not inclusive, or the children feel overwhelmed in such situations to be part of a large class. So in a one-on-one class, they feel very comfortable with the teacher because it's only the teacher and the learner in the class. However, this child, because of her ADHD problem, she's a teenager. She wants to be on social media. She wants to be popular. She keeps changing the passwords of creating Instagram accounts and changing the passwords, creating Instagram accounts. And every time her mother will say, I need the password, I need to keep, a watch on you. And she'll say, yes, ma, I created this and gave it to her. Next day, it'll be a new account. And the parent at one point got, frazzled by the whole thing and pulled the phone from her. And this child walked out of home. It was a drastic step. And the whole day, the parents were searching for her, and then finally, she came back home. She was in a friend's place. Whatever may be the reason, we took a counseling session with the child, and we counseled the parents and the child. So parenting these days is also hard, because you don't know where to draw the line and how the child should be within a yellow line. So the point I'm trying to make here is that the human empathy, or the element that comes in here, is we had a discussion with the child separately. The child had not told the parent that she's creating a new account every day. The parent is assuming that the child is changing the password because the parent does not want to access, she does not want the parent to access the account. So this we had to clarify through a counseling session. Then we had to tell the parents that this is a neurodivergent child. She is doing these things to fit in, and don't judge that she's not trusting you, So it became a trust issue, right? So life is not all about data and interpretation. There are so many other dimensions. So even between a parent and a child, trust has to be established. If there's no trust, it's difficult. So these are, human elements which we bring into the classroom, we bring into our counseling sessions, and we ensure that no learner is left behind. Recently, we have also, coached the Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team. They came from Zimbabwe to take training here in an institute near Bombay. And we have been, coaching them for their A-levels and O-levels. And the kids are going to be playing the World Cup next year in the month of March. And 2 years they had to be away from home. They had to be pulled out of school. And they had to take training, for the game. And we are happy that we have been able to bridge a gap there and provide the support required for them to finish their high school. So these are some of the points that I wanted to share with all of you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. My next question will be to Joanne. In virtual classrooms enriched by intelligent tutors. Okay.
Thanks for your question.
Let me just finish the question, yeah. and multimodal AI agents, what architectures or design principles ensure that the learner remains at the center cognitively, emotionally, and ethically, so that technology amplifies human connection rather than replacing it?
Okay, thank you for your question. When we speak about AI in virtual classrooms, we often start with the wrong question. We ask what AI can do. But the moment we put technology at the center. The real questions are much simpler and much deeper. What does the learner need to succeed, cognitively, emotionally, and socially? What must remain human? What can be supported or delegated to AI? This is the inversion principle. Human responsibility first, technology second. A learner-centered ecosystem depends on the teacher's professional judgment, the ability to read the classroom, detect nuance, and respond to unexpected. This judgment must remain the guideline principle behind every AI integration. So we need systems where the human always has the final word. AI can suggest, but not decide. AI can support, but not define what learning should be. A learner must always be able to understand, question, and, if needed, refuse what the system proposes. Imagine an intelligent tutor. Instead of saying, review this now, it should say, based on your work, you might benefit from reviewing this concept. Would you like to explore it? The learner stays in control. The AI in the map is a map, not the GPS that takes over the wheel. AI is often presented through personalization, adaptive content, individual pacing, tailored feedback. But pushed too far, personalization is isolated. The student alone with a screen. The teacher alone with tools that change every week. Personalization only makes sense when it remains part of a community. A learner-centered design needs space for collaboration, shared tasks, and human interaction. AI should strengthen connection, not replace it. A learner cannot be at the center of the system they do not understand. Transparency is not technical, it is essential. Learners should know why an AI recommends something, how the data is used, and what rules shape the system behavior. Without that, autonomy becomes an illusion. For every AI feature, we should ask, does this augment human capability or replace human presence? Augmentation looks like AI correcting routine tasks so teacher can focus on deep feedback. AI spotting early signs of difficulty and alerting the teacher who decide how to respond. AI showing comprehension patterns so teachers can adjust passing, but the decision stays human. Replacement look like AI deciding learner pathway without oversight. AI providing all feedback, removing the teacher's voice. AI acting like a human presence without clear disclosure. A learner-centered system always keeps in a human loop. If we want AI to amplify human connection rather than replace it, we must design systems where human responsibility, and community are not optional. They must be the foundation.
Thank you. He was reading out because he mentioned earlier that he has a problem in the language, so that's why he had to read it out. But yeah, my next question to Meenakshi would be, with rising concerns, the last question of the day, with rising concerns about screen fatigue and distraction, how does CSRL design virtual learning so that students stay academically engaged without becoming screen dependent, ensuring focus on subject learning instead of gadget usage?
Hello, yeah. So typically in our kind of work, we do not allow screen time. Like I previously said, we do not allow phones. I would request all people attending here also to avoid phones for 2 minutes, just for 2 minutes. Yeah, won't take long. I know I have been observing. I know it is the last session, but this is what I have been observing. We are talking so much about screen time, but we are all speaking about it, and 80% of the people were on phones. So in our organizations, we didn't allow students because they were not focused. Phones were and screens were major distraction. But incidentally, in COVID times and lately, because we lack good faculty members, I would invite Janam in our next class though. So we had, because of the fund crisis, we had to depend on online classes for expert faculty members. For some good speakers, we wanted our students to have an exposure of people around the world. So we had to depend on this. Now, how did we, categorically design it in a way? First of all, our faculty members had to, confine their lectures. What are they going to teach online? Not every subject can be taught online. Not every concept can be understood by a mass number. So the numbers were designed. Not every class will have 50 participants because the students we were catering to were not very exposed to technology. So they would shy away asking questions. So we designed it that every virtual meeting will only have limited number of students. We may have to do the same topic 5 times a day, but we will do it with a limited number. The faculty will have to remember names of each individual. Even if the student is not, a student was not supposed to log in with their email IDs. They just had CSRL written on their names. So a faculty had to call each participant by their name. So each student got connected with the faculty. Somebody you call by name, or you just say, ma'am, here, there, they'll not connect. But the moment you address somebody by name, they get connected to you. So that was the first thing we adapted. Lesser number of students, calling out by names, limited number of topics to be taught, but it was only to be taught. How they practice it will come into physical norms. So practice of paper and pen, the smell of paper, the smell of pencil should not go out of the sight of a student's life. AI definitely should be taken as a tool. I am repeating the nth number of time. And I believe the name itself suggests artificial intelligence cannot beat human intelligence at any point of time. So we can definitely use it to facilitate the gap between learners and the remote areas. We are working in Kashmir, like I said. In Kargil, we do not have, electricity. For 6 months, there's people are staying indoors. So no faculty from outside the states are ready to go and study there. So or teach there. So how do we do that? So we started conducting online classes, but the mode remained the same. That we will do it, but we will do it 4 times a day. It took us some effort, more money, but then we were connected with our students. But I don't know, I should be saying this, we are using AI, definitely now. It is a more powerful tool. But empathy and the human connect, without that, we cannot do it. Every organization or every institution can have different ways because work models are different for each one of us. How do we design that? I cannot put it in one para here that you should be doing it this way. But one note for the day that without losing the human aspect, if you're using AI, that is the best way to teach. So that is all for the day. Thank you for patiently listening to us.
I would love to add that, let AI do the analysis, but let teachers do the interpretation and then work on the transformation.
Thank you, everyone. Now, just a closing note for the panel. I think the end result is we can't do without AI, but it can facilitate us. We'll just give a small example. In our university, we hold the summer and the winter schools for high schoolers, and I had an online summer school for students in 2021 when we began. We could teach them. They were grasping concepts, but the touch was missing. The connect was missing. That's when they all wanted to come to campus as soon as COVID got over. And the way they could see the horses on campus, the way they could play sports on campus, campus. So it's holistic learning coming out of, virtual learning. Of course, we can't do without virtual learning in terms of, getting online master classes, certifications. All of this is available for students these days, but nothing to beat the warmth of a teacher in a classroom, the Q&A which happens, Imagine all the online people who are watching us right now. I believe it's streaming live on YouTube, but the connect with you all, looking at your faces, understanding how interesting or engaging the conversation has been is a different, ball game for all of us right here. So thank you once again. I know we had a lot of other questions and interesting ones which the panelists had given. We're all from different states, different countries, different continents. It was wonderful to connect online through WhatsApp. Again, I would say, thanks to technology, we could exchange our questions, but with keeping in mind the next panel discussion, there's a fireside chat. Stay back for it because I'm going to be on stage for the next one as well. So, but thank you everyone. Any closing notes from anyone, or we could just end it and ask any Q&A, any questions? Yeah, please. So we have 2 questions and then we'll wrap it up. Please, yes.
Hi. So my question may be out of the box. I know he's my brother, but I would like to ask any of other of you. So I would like to ask that, how do you feel, how do you see the role of teachers, educators evolving in the next 5-10 years as AI personalizes learning in even more? Like AI is becoming strong in personalization. So how do you feel that the role of teachers will get evolved? Yeah.
Yeah, so how is a human different from a machine? Yeah. A human is endowed with the power of discretion, So, and educators, of course, are in it because they love to develop the next generation. And the power of discretion is something that all of us have to work on, we have to hone, and we have to see how this can be further enhanced. Of course, AI is a great tool. We get a lot of information. How are we going to process this information? How is the information going to be used to better the teaching learning process or to better, the transformation of the student? This is what we need to use. So the power of discretion is what the teacher should work on.
Correct. So I guess educators should be trained to maintain balance between AI and emotional touch. Yeah.
I'll just add really quickly, we had a pilot study where our Florida History Teacher of the Year used Quick Learn in the classroom, where we recreated him as the teacher, cloned his voice, and 15 of the students were using Quick Learn, talking to their teacher in the classroom, and Mr. Flint pulled together the 3 or 4 students that were really struggling by his desk and taught them separately. So I think this is a great use of of AI. And so I think there are lots of different ways that we can be very creative with AI for the future, but we always want to keep the teacher at the heart.
Thank you. Yeah.
Next question, please.
The originality, ma'am. The originality. A gentleman had asked a good question in the previous session that AI gives us all the answers. A good teacher is the one who gives that inquisitivity for more questions. The more number of questions, and questions are always original. Answers are duplicate, or answers can be of, there's no originality in that. But questions are very original, like you ask something. They can be, it comes from various minds, so there can be different questions. Answers may be dependent on the data that we receive. So that is one difference.
So our next panel is on creativity quotient. So I think that's very important to keep your CQs high. It's not all about EQ, IQ, SQ. It's all about CQ now. So if the content is creative enough, it has to come from within, So I think that's the originality and creativity are the two main aspects.
Really quickly, one of the things that we do at Quick Learn is, for example, if we have Abraham Lincoln, we've taken all of the writings of Abraham Lincoln and we've trained it into his character. We know that that is coming from Abraham Lincoln and not from just general ChatGPT. The other thing, anyway, that's kind of one of the ways. And the other way is we're able to have the teacher themselves train the bot specifically on their curriculum. So you absolutely know that it's not going out to general ChatGPT. It is that teacher's curriculum. So I think that's really important.
I just wanted to say that there's this saying that the best teachers tell you where to look, but they don't tell you what to see, So what you see is the creative part of things. So everybody's creativity will always be there.
Any more questions or can we call it a day? Yes, one
Just last
question.
one.
Yeah.
So we want to make our virtual classes more effective, right? More intuitive. Apart from that, we want adaptive experience is a new thing in the world right now. People are going for adaptive experience UX behaviors. Okay, so how AI can help us to have a better feedback mechanism, and will FER, facial expression recognition, can be a part in that segment?
It's completely a question with my domain, I will tell you. So, for example, we have devised a small remote, which is called as a clicker. So what we do is, suppose after every lecture, so you can sit, it's okay. Thank you. So what we do is after every lecture, suppose I put a question on the board, there will be 4 options, MCQ, and students have to answer it. But the problem is, I cannot ask each and every of the 40 students that, hey, tell me what is the answer, what is the answer. Most of the introverts won't do that. And even the extroverts, they will be, under the peer pressure that what if the other guy judges me for my answer. So the remotes are with them. Now the remotes are personalized. So what they have to do is, I will just start a timer, 1-minute timer. They will quickly solve it. Now they will mark it on like A, B, C, D on the remote, and the answer will be stored. If I want, I can display it on the board too. So for an example, it will be displayed that this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. Like this many students have, done this. It's very much similar to, who wants to become a millionaire or Kaun Banega Crorepati theme that you have seen. So that we have integrated in education. Now, it's not just the fun element in the class. The best part is the analysis after that. Now, after the class, suppose if I want to know that particular child, that child never speaks in the class, how he or she is doing. I will never understand because the student doesn't speak, but I have the data. In every class, I take those, 6 to 7 quizzes. Now, after the lecture, I can just look at the data. I can see that, okay, out of these 6 questions, this student has been not able to answer 4 of them. So I can identify that, okay, so this is the topic where, the student is lagging. Not just that, we can also have for example, in future, we can have a team who is not a teacher, who is not a business person, but someone who completely focuses on that data, whose job will be, to just academically mentor the students to look at the data and see that this particular child is going wrong this way. Let me connect it to the teacher and let me find a slot and arrange that, particular classroom with the teacher. Yeah, thank you.
So thank you, everyone, for being here. And thank you all the panelists for your wonderful answers. Can we now have a group photo, and then we can have the next session, please? Yes? OK. And you can connect with us on LinkedIn. Our names are here. We are happy to answer if there are any more questions offline later as well. Thank you.